Of fake Amazon purchase and bank wire transfers. That's how a local family said scammers were able to steal more than $500,000 from them. Team 10 investigator Melissa Masiha and photojournalist Ray Higgins show us why the couple feels financial institutions should take more responsibility to avoid this from happening to us.
Meet William and Ave Bortz, an elderly couple from Poway, California, who had been married for over 55 years. After decades of hard work, careful saving, and building a life together, they had finally reached their golden years with financial security. They had recently sold their home, and combined with their retirement savings, they had amassed nearly $700,000. Money they believed would carry them comfortably through the rest of their lives. In just 8 days, they would lose $690,500 to criminals they never met, never saw, and never suspected. This is their story. William and Ave were not reckless people. They were cautious, thoughtful, and had spent their entire lives working toward financial stability. William had built a career that required intelligence and attention to detail. Ave had been a devoted wife and partner through every challenge life threw their way. Together, they raised a family, invested wisely, and planned carefully for retirement. They were not strangers to technology. Their daughter lived hours away in San Diego, and William was accustomed to having his computer remotely accessed by his son-in-law for technical support. This was a normal part of their lives. Remote access was not something that raised alarm bells. They trusted systems, they trusted institutions, and they believed that people, for the most part, told the truth. They were, in every sense, ordinary people living an ordinary life. But their lives were about to be shattered in a way they never imagined possible. It began in January with something that seemed completely routine. An email arrived in their inbox that appeared to be from Amazon. The message was alarming. It claimed that someone had made a purchase on their account for approximately $1,500 worth of products, and those items were being shipped to an address they did not recognize. The email looked legitimate. It had Amazon branding, professional formatting, and a sense of urgency. It instructed them to call a toll-free number, an 866 number, to resolve the issue immediately. William, wanting to protect their account and stop the fraudulent charge, picked up the phone and dialed. On the other end of the line was a voice that sounded professional, calm, and authoritative. The person claimed to be an Amazon representative and assured William they could fix everything. But first, they needed access to his computer to verify the transaction and reverse the charge. William agreed. After all, this was not unusual. He had allowed remote access before for technical help. The screen flickered as control of his computer was handed over to a stranger. What William did not know was that he had just opened the door to a carefully orchestrated nightmare. The scammer, now in full control, began to manipulate what William saw on his screen. They brought up a fake Amazon website, one that looked identical to the real thing. On this fraudulent page, it showed that William had supposedly spent $200,000 on a purchase. William was stunned. He had done no such thing. The voice on the phone remained calm and explained that in order to process the refund, William needed to type in the amount he was owed into a specific field on the website. It was presented as a routine step in the refund process. William, trusting the voice and the official-looking website, complied. But the moment he entered that number, the fake website displayed an even larger sum. It now claimed that Amazon owed him $200,000, but there was a problem. The scammer explained that the refund server was out of sync with Amazon's main system. To fix this and get his money back, William would need to wire the funds temporarily to what they called the Amazon Refund Recovery Center. Once the synchronization was complete, every penny would be returned. It sounded complicated, but the scammer was patient, persuasive, and insistent. They called multiple times a day, guiding William through every step, never giving him time to think, never allowing doubt to creep in. The pressure was constant. The urgency was manufactured, and William, wanting to resolve what he believed was a legitimate issue, followed their instructions. Over the course of just 8 days, William walked into 2 different Chase Bank branches in North County. He initiated 4 separate wire transfers. The money was sent to accounts in Hong Kong and China. William had never wired money to a foreign country in his entire life. But he believed he was fixing a problem, not creating one. Transfer after transfer, the numbers climbed. 10,000, 50,000, 100,000. By the time the nightmare ended, $690,500 was gone. And then the call stopped. The voice on the other end of the line vanished. The fake website disappeared. William checked his bank account, and the truth hit him like a freight train. His life savings were gone. Decades of work, years of careful planning, the profit from their home sale, everything they had built together vanished in 8 days. He felt violated, betrayed, humiliated. His daughter, also named Ave, was devastated when she learned what had happened. She had warned her parents about scams before, but this one was different. It was sophisticated, relentless, and terrifyingly convincing. The hackers had not just stolen money, they had stolen her parents' future. But the pain did not end there. William believed the bank should have protected him. He had walked into Chase branches 4 times in 8 days, wiring massive sums of money to foreign countries, something he had never done before. He thought someone, anyone, should have asked more questions. Instead, he says, a bank employee noticed his account balance and asked if he would consider becoming a private banking client because he had assets to invest. The irony was crushing. The money they wanted him to invest was about to be stolen. William and his family filed a lawsuit against Chase, alleging financial elder abuse and unfair business practices. They argued that the bank knew, or should have known, that something was wrong, that the pattern of transactions was suspicious, that an elderly man wiring hundreds of thousands of dollars to China in a matter of days should have triggered alarms. The case was dismissed, but the family is appealing. Legal experts say the outcome of this case could set a precedent for similar situations across the country. Some courts believe banks can be held liable if they should have known about a scam and failed to intervene. Others argue the bank must have actual knowledge of fraud to be responsible. Chase responded by stating that while William was entitled to dispute the transactions, federal courts had already dismissed his claims twice. A spokesperson emphasized that consumers should always be suspicious when someone they do not know asks them to send money urgently. They pointed to resources on their website warning customers about fraud, but for William and Ave, those warnings came too late. The scammers had also accessed their retirement investment accounts, but fortunately, their investment company was able to reimburse that money. Chase, however, offered nothing. No refund, no apology. Just a statement that William was a willing participant and they owed him nothing. The family has filed reports with the Sheriff's Department, the FBI, and multiple agencies, but the money has not been recovered. The criminals are still out there, likely targeting someone else right now. William and Ave's story is not unique. Every year, Thousands of people lose billions of dollars to scams just like this one. The tactics evolve, the technology improves, and the lies become more convincing. But the formula remains the same. Create urgency, build trust, isolate the victim, and strike before anyone can intervene. If you or someone you love is ever contacted by someone claiming to be from Amazon, your bank, the government, or any institution asking you to wire money, stop immediately. Legitimate companies will never ask you to wire funds, buy gift cards, or transfer money to fix a problem. If someone pressures you to act quickly, it is a scam. If someone asks for remote access to your computer, it is a scam. If someone asks you to send money to a foreign country to get a refund, it is a scam. Trust your instincts, talk to your family, verify everything independently. William wishes he had. He wants his story to be a warning so that others do not suffer the same fate. His life savings are gone, but if sharing his pain can protect even one person, he believes it is worth it. If you found this story valuable, please share it with your family and friends. Awareness is the best defense against these predators. Subscribe for more scam awareness content, and remember, your vigilance could save someone's life savings.